in his way. Professor Sridhar Garu holds a Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering from Kakinada Engineering College, affiliated to Andhra University, and Master of Engineering in Machine Design from the prestigious Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. His professional journey began with L&T Bangalore, where he contributed to the design and development of hydraulic excavators for nearly a decade from 1974 to 1983. In 1983, Professor Sridhar Garu transitioned into academia, becoming a dedicated educator and mentor in the field of mechanical engineering. He served as the professor and the head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering at MJ College of Engineering and Technology, Osmania University, Hyderabad, before retiring in 2005 to devote his time to social work. Professor Sridhar Garu has authored textbooks on robotics and on automatic control systems, so his academic contributions have inspired generations of engineers and researchers. Beyond his academic work, Professor Sridhar Garu is actively involved in social causes. He currently serves as one of the All India conveners for the Center for Protection of Democratic Rights and Secularism, known as CPDRS, where he works to uphold the values of democracy and secularism in India. We are honored to have Professor Kuncha Sridhar Garu with us today, and we eagerly look forward to hearing his thoughts on this special day. Please join me in welcoming sir to address our students.
Honorable Principal of the College, Dr. J. Kumar Lere, President of House Wakar, and then the Secretary, Parmeshwar, my dear staff and students of Ambedkar Institute of Global Institute of Law. The very name is global. It is something connected to the international community of mankind. I am very happy to be here with you on this very special day for the 10th December. Suppose I say God created all men equal. Give some response. But if I say all men are born equal and free, as told by John Locke Rousseau, one of the pioneers of the European Renaissance movement. So men are born free. Freedom is our birthright. The struggle for freedom has got a long history, as in one of my predecessor speakers spoke in this university. Hundreds of lifetimes. You know about Spartacus? Which year? Spartacus led a slave revolt. BC 17. Many years back. Centuries back. 1,000 people were killed. But they did not give up the struggle. By killing people, you think you can stop the ideas of spreading of concept of freedom or democratic rights. It is not possible. For some time, you may keep the people at bay. You may confuse some people for some time. You may confuse all the people for some time. And some people for all the time. But you cannot confuse all the people for all the time. So this is how the history of human rights evolved and started. So I say the present contains the past in it, and it also contains the indication for the future. That was what to study. Otherwise, simply like some ritual if you observe any day, it will not have any purpose. So with that in mind, I want to share my views here. I think, okay, speak for some 30-40 minutes. Yes, sir. International Human Rights Day was observed annually. It is being done now throughout the world in many places. On December 10th, commemorating the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, abbreviated as UDHR, by the United Nations General Assembly in 1948 in Paris. Actually, there were 30 demands in the charter, and there were 4 pillars in the UDHR. You know, 3 slogans: equality, then fraternity, and liberty. These slogans raised by the French Revolution in 1779. But in 1948, UDHR added one more pillar: equality, liberty, fraternity, and dignity. Mankind lost dignity during the Second World War. The right to exist as a particular community, it was butchered, Holocaust. So after coming out of that fascist period, fascist era, the world community was shocked. Something had to be done. So a demand was floated that we should release a universal charter of demands and taking opinion from all the countries, all experts, legal experts, people like you from legal institutions, people from the jurisprudence, scientists, cultural activists, social activists. But a draft was modified, accepted in 1948. See the historical importance of this International Human Rights Day. That's why we are here. And it stresses the fundamental rights, freedom, including the right to life. First is the right to life. You should be able to exist as a man, a decent life, and liberty, and security of the person, and freedom of speech, and freedom of thought. These are the main demands to be achieved by every citizen in the world, not for a particular community, but this sector, that group, or this religious group, that religious group. It's not like that. Now it is for a majority minority. You are an individual in the world, you are a citizen, and they are all connected. Biologically, if you see also, who are our forefathers? We all descended from some apes in Central Africa, millions of years back. And from there it spread into many places in the globe. And they evolved tribes, then tribes to nations, tribes to kingdoms, kingdoms to nations, nations to international. It is going. So even the black, white, if you see genetic coding, they are all connected. Then why these barriers? That you belong to a particular religion, particular caste, particular creed, particular linguistic group, and for that you have to kill the others. Hatred is being propagated. So in that condition, we have to be aware of the human rights. Understand ourselves first, and spread it, practice it. There is the call of the hour. Each year, this Human Rights Day is announced with a specific theme. For instance, in 2002, the theme was dignity, freedom, and justice for all. 3 words they say. Then in 2023, the theme became equality, freedom, and justice for all. This year, 2024, the announced theme, international, is our rights, our future. The third one is very important. Right now means no delay. It's very urgent. The way how bombing everywhere, so many innocents are losing their lives, and the corporates are making money selling arms. Since 2 years the Ukraine war is going on. Recently they started Israel attacking Gaza. How anybody having some consciousness of human rights and right of life for any human being can keep quiet? International Court of Justice, session after session, I was following them, online you can see. They are condemning that Israel should stop this An injunction was given, order is given by the International Court of Justice, but they are not doing it. Why? Because of the power. Where is the power? The economic power, military power. The powerful man can do anything. It goes against democracy. Basic principles of freedom, basic principles of democracy are against that. Now, anyway, the stress of the particular theme of 2024 International Human Rights Day is right now. But without much delay, we have to spread. That is the thing. Friends, you know, fear. Fear is the worst enemy of mankind. And fear and democracy do not go together. Democracy will be in great peril if people are frightened. Due to, for example, the ongoing intolerance in the society. Spreading fear is not at all beneficial for democracy. In fact, it is detrimental to the democratic process, and fear is used by the Western circles, and it is used to manipulate the public opinion and erode trust in the goodness of people. Disbelief. So it will have a range of negative consequences, and finally it will go to erosion of civil liberties. Civil liberties will be at stake. There are a lot of restrictions on that. Restriction on the freedom of speech, restriction on the freedom of assembly, restriction on the freedom of the press. So ultimately, fear creates an idea, us versus them. It is we and they. All together, that feeling, sense of belonging that we are all one community, that will go. We always find that other people are the enemy. Brother kill brother. We are used to that. So this mentality, it increases, society will polarize. The same people who are exploited, the same people who are oppressed, suppressed, instead of strengthening their bond of unity, they will get loggerheads fighting each other. So in a democracy, this should not be allowed. It is very essential in a democracy to promote a culture of critical thinking, and media literacy should be there, and well-informed discourse, debate, discussion, a free atmosphere of debate and discussion is be allowed. Here I want to tell one instance. You might have heard about Niemöller, a German poet. How many of you heard about him? Niemöller was a poet, an activist also. Under Hitler's regime in 1930s, he much supported Hitler, praised him that he will do something good for our nation, the great nation, German. German's interest is Hitler's rule. Both he equated, but afterwards he realized that he was mistaken. So he wrote a poem that goes like this. They came to take the trade unionists. I did not open my mouth because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came to take the socialists. I did not open my mouth because I am not a socialist. Then they came to take the Jews. I did not open my mouth because I am not a Jew. Then they came to take me. I looked around and found nobody there to support me. Just so many things. Out of fear, if anybody keeps quiet and does not open his or her mouth, it will not spare him or her also. So this type of indifference that comes is not good. So that also we have to keep in mind while working for human rights. Earlier in the feudal era, if anybody opposes the king had the right to chop off his head. Right or wrong, whatever king says, you have to follow. That was the system.
Because king was the representative sent by the God from heaven to rule the people. That is the thing. It is like what is told in the army today. In the army, the soldiers are taught the first principle is they have to follow this. The soldiers, they say, your duty is to do or die. You are not to ask why. So there is no question. You should not ask. Okay. In the army, it is required maybe to a centralized way. They have to defeat the enemy country, save this nation. All right. But it will be curse for the civil society. In the civil society, you cannot say, don't ask questions, don't debate. Your duty is to do or die. If you ask, I will kill you. That is the biggest threat for a democracy to survive. Under whatever name it is spread, that in the good of the nation, good of the country, these are all wrong slogans to mislead the people. It is happening in India. Actually, the cry for democracy, as I told you, long time back, started from the time of Spartacus. And you know about golden rules? Golden rules? Some golden rules they say. That is to be followed. Jesus Christ said golden rule. One golden rule, what he told you? You wish on others what you want to be done to you. When you do to others, what should be done to you, what your wishing should be done to me, same thing you wish for others. In a positive way. Then even before him, 600 BC, Confucius, or 400 BC, I don't know, Confucius told in a negative way that don't do things to others which you don't want to be done to you. So in whatever way, in a positive way, negative way, whatever principles they lay down, they all speak on one thing. What is that? Justice should prevail. This is the thing. These are the golden rules on that society is run, society is connected. You can't simply rule society as you like. The antithesis, the good will come and it will prevail. Like that, there are changes happening. We are in the transitional period. We will have to accelerate that change. So, but today the golden rule, very ironically, I am feeling the golden rule is no more like gold, what they say. Very sarcastically I say, the man who has got gold, he will make the golden rule. Golden is bounding for all to follow. That is what is happening. Man who is having military power, economic power, he will dictate things to other countries. Same thing happens in a country also, in a community also. So the disparity will go on. In the Renaissance movement that started in Europe, which was led by Voltaire, Rousseau, then Shakespeare, the cultural movement in the span of 15th, 17th century, it spoke against this autocratic movement and dictatorship and feudal injunctions. Freedom of speech, debate, discussions should be there in all fields encompassing art, literature, painting, then architecture, sciences, politics, jurisprudence, human rights, every aspect. The Renaissance is a French word. It means rebirth or reawakening. Of course, English is not accepted as an English word. So it's a great period. Freeing the entire society from the medieval dark ages brought democratic rights, secularism. This is the movement that started in Florence, Italy. Then it was spread to the entire country, all corners of Italy, then entire Europe, then it spread to the whole world. In India also, Renaissance movement started with Raja Ram Mohan Roy, then Vidyasagar, then Sarathara Chatterjee. This way, every country throughout the world saw a change of old ideas replaced by new concept of life, democratic concepts. So also, Magna Carta. That is rules and regulations for the society. A charter demands. That was in 1215. In England, King John released it. Then even British Queen, when India is a colony, in 1858, released another Magna Carta. Sepoys mutiny, Sepoys mutiny, 1850s, America has taken a film by name Dangal. I suggest all of you to see that. Revolting against the British imperialist rulers to free India. Sepoys mutiny, the background is East India Company was ruling. They came to do business and then established, landed their army here, established their rule. And Indians were being exploited, lot of tax they paid, lot of inhuman labor they were doing, nothing they were getting back. In that period, people revolted, then the company rule had to be abolished. It was replaced by the Queen's rule. That time some rights here, so-called Magna Carta. But in that, the Indian businessmen got a right to invest in the East India Company. So they started buying shares, 1%, 2% shares in the East India Company. Company business is there, but company's rule, company's army is no more there. It is the British Royal Army under the British Queen that was ruling India. Then Indians invested in the shares and slowly their shares started growing. By 1890s like that, it grew to such an extent that it could challenge the British capital. There the desire came in the Indian business people that the Britishers should go. We should rule. Congress Party was formed that time with a slogan that freedom, we should win freedom, Britishers should go. In that, there were all types of people. Those who are siding with the big business and also those who are siding with the common people, millions of common people, the toiling millions. Both sections were there. The section which is supporting the millions of people was uncompromisingly fighting against the Britishers, led by Telugu, Adolph Seetharamaraju, Ashok Bhagat Singh, Khudiram Bose, Bhagat Jatin. They were all revolutionaries. They wanted to unite the people of India, irrespective of the caste, creed, color, religion, language, into one nation and drive away the Britishers with armed struggle. But another trend appeared, supported by the business people who already invested in East India Company and who wanted to come to power. That is reflected by Gandhi, Patel, other people in that section. So they did not like Nehru. Gandhiji never liked Nehru. He did not allow him to work here. If India got freedom under the leadership of that uncompromising trend reflected by Nehruji and Subramanian, then situation would have been different. Did not. Because the compromising section led by Gandhiji, they only wanted political freedom, that Britishers should leave India and go. Then what about the Indians? Their unity, culturally the same feudal disunity remained. They did not do any movement. For example, I tell you one example. Suppose British police are firing, I am freedom fighter, you are freedom fighter, we both are ready to die under the British bullet. Together, to save him I will die, to save me he will die. This much unity in the street. But going home, his daughter cannot marry my son because he is a different caste. So the cultural movement suffered because of the compromise. So this is the weakness, inherent weakness in Indian freedom movement. Anyway, India got freedom and there, because of this compromising trend, secularism was wrongly interpreted. Friends, CPDRS, I represent CPDRS. Already I was introduced as a convener of CPDRS there in the Center for Protection of Democratic Rights and Secularism. But democratic rights, there are many organizations. But we have added yes, secularism. Secularism, what it is and what it is not, should be understood properly. Otherwise, we cannot do justice. Secularism does not mean equal patronage to all the religions. It emerged as a concept during the French Revolution. Secular means worldly things, concerning the world. So the worldly affairs, how the world should run, rule, regulations, law, etc., should not be based on belief in a supernatural entity. Secular means non-recognition of supernatural entity. That's why even Swami Vivekananda, he said, he was a great Hindu. He said, yes, please. Yeah, no, please.
I would like to invite Sri Rahul Sharma Garu, the Honorary President of Paul Chaitanya Vedika, Senior Journalist, Director and Popular Writer, to come onto the dais. I request our students to present the book.
I was just asking the organizer about the time. The subject is becoming heavy. I would like to have feedback. Please tell me, should I go on at the same level? Okay. Time, another 15-20 minutes. Because unless we understand the things properly, unless the ideas are correct, unless the ideas are right, our actions will not be right. Actions also should be united action. Because the power, the force which is controlling us, suppressing, is very powerful. A powerful enemy can be defeated only by a powerful idea. So for that, it may look little difficult to follow, but if one day is not the thing. I may introduce some topics that go, but keep discussing. Do your own research. Let your own brain be thinking. We should not become like a slave. We should not be just carried away by the propaganda. All media is sold out media. Use your own social media, your own thinking. Try to know what is the history, what is the past, where we are, and where we should go. For that, this International Human Rights Day should be an occasion for us. It is not just one country, in the whole world, coming from such a suffering situation, suffocating situation, relieving the people from the jackboot of Hitlerite fascism. It is not an ordinary thing. We did not live in that period. Those who lived in that period, they know what an unprecedented it is. Coming out, they declare these human rights, which are not being achieved. The human rights chapter, whatever has been envisaged, dreamt, is not being achieved. Even in India, the people, thousands of people died, sacrificed their lives, gave blood, the leaders of the Indian freedom movement. What they have dreamt, has it been achieved? No. It is unfulfilled. It is an unfulfilled task of our forefathers who dreamt for a better society for us and sacrificed. So something went wrong. That has to be corrected. That is the knowledge. Knowledge is very much important. Ignorance will not lead us. If people are ignorant, the power of the rulers will multiply. Tolstoy said it. Tolstoy said in the Tolstoy, power of the rulers lies. Can't hear. Yeah. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. So Tolstoy said the power of the rulers lies in the ignorance of the people. The people drive away the ignorance, then they can achieve the true freedom. Now, what is our task? We have to develop awareness and citizens. For that, Subramanya Bharati, poet from Tamil Nadu, but he was a very Mahakavi, many aspects. In one seminar, he was asked to discuss rights and obligations. It is all known to you that rights and obligations go together. There is no right without obligation, there is no obligation without right, both together. But he placed it so beautifully, I like it very much. He said, yes, both go together, but you cannot apply in the same way to both the haves and have-nots in the society. He told, you have to make the haves, that means the wealthy, rich people, to be more aware of their obligations to the society. And we should to teach the have-nots, the downtrodden, more about their rights. If the reverse happens, you are not making them aware of their rights, but you are only telling them you should do this, you should do that, otherwise punishment will give you. This is your obligation to society. You are wrong approach. That is Subramanya Bharati. And to the haves, you are only telling your right, you must have this, you must more wealth, and about your obligation to society, okay, a little you give, is a wrong approach. But even Mahakavi, because of that, he is concerned for society. So, now our task is to restore the democratic rights. They were democratic rights. They were not just bestowed upon the people by the rulers because of their mercy that you have this, no. They were the result of the struggle, fight, sacrifice. That is how it was legalized. You must understand the difference between legality, law professionals, law students. Legitimacy and legality, there should not be confusion between them. Whatever is legal may not be legitimate. Whatever is legitimate may not be already having a legal provision for it. So the gap has to be bridged. The gap between these two, legality and legitimacy, will be bridged as the people become more aware. This is the role of the civil society. Keep on crying, keep on telling, shouting, discuss. It can happen only in the free atmosphere. The fear is there, they cannot speak. The people whose opinion matters, people whose call matters, they also keep quiet. Then where the society will go? God save the society. So now for democratic rights, since 1.5 years, we are striving to develop CPJRS. Actually, CPJRS was formed in 1983 under the chairmanship of Justice Krishna Iyer and some other jurists, important people, Kuldeep Nair, intellectual, such people were there in the lead. Then, after a few years, when those stalwarts died, it went into limbo. Limbo means sleep like that. However, in some states like West Bengal and Odisha, somewhat it is active. Then, considering the present situation in India, we some concerned people felt that we have to build it now in the national level. CPJRS. Accordingly, some states responded, some few people responded. Then a convention, All India Convention was planned on December 10th. Today, it would be happening actually. But it was at Delhi. It was deferred because of the alarming levels of air pollution in Delhi. Many requested not to hold it. It will be held maybe in end of February, in March. For that, Justice Sri Krishna, you heard about it, in 1992 Mumbai Rights, he prepared a beautiful report and published how the rights were conducted. Every detail, so meticulous. Last month I went to Mumbai and met him. He agreed to be the president on the convention at Kali. Then Justice A.K. Patnaik, Supreme Court Justice, he agreed to be the main speaker. He was an advisor for constitutional explanation and restatement of the Indian Constitution. Any reforms required for that, he was the advisor once appointed to Chief Justice. They are worried where India is going. So also some other speakers, Prashant Bhushan, then Parakal Prabhakar, economists, these people, they are all sharing their concern. So the CPDRS is planning for All India program for main aim is to restore the democratic rights. What is happening? Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, you might have read it, they will introduce, but there is nothing new in it. They are telling it is against the colonial legacy, nothing free from colonial legacy. Rather, they are given more power to the executive. Already, unlawful acquisition act is there. It is being acted by misuse. It is a law, but it shouldn't be misused. So, the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita was opposed by many people. Justice Aditya Sondi is the Advocate General of Karnataka, former Advocate General. I met him. He also told, what is this Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita? There is nothing new. They changed the name from English name to Sanskrit name. That's all. There is no 1850s what the British rule made. Same things are there. There is nothing much changed. So we have to win over the rights, restore whatever democratic rights we got after independence. If they are taking away with the new, amending new draconian laws, we have to restore them, then preserve them. Not only that, one of the speakers before me said, we have to extend that to different fields, democratic rights, restore, win back, preserve them, and extend to different horizons, different fields. Gender discrimination, then so many groups, communities are suppressed. Children's rights. This type of exercise has to be taken up. We expect the government will institute a committee and they will do it. Takes a long time. This is the role of the civil society. Those who are concerned, those who are worried about it. It is not that they are keeping quiet. I am hearing, they are talking, they are shouting, they are expressing, raising their voice. But one idea, in a CPDRS way, but not together. So the CPDRS aims to bring the energy of all these people under one umbrella throughout India. So international human rights day also is being observed by CPDRS in different parts. In Andhra Pradesh, I heard that in Kurnool, Tirupati, Visakhapatnam, and Anantapur, they are holding whatever banner they use. That the International Human Rights Day, you should not forget, people are not ignorant of it. That there was something that the international community gathered and gave a charter to be followed by every country. That also we have to spread. So, what is needed is main thing, I think, a free atmosphere of debate discussion. Dissenting voices should not be brutally suppressed. The main essence of democracy is that. I mentioned about Rousseau, Voltaire, Shakespeare. Voltaire, I think, Voltaire. He said, In French, those of you who know French may understand. He said, Monsieur l'abbé, je déteste ce que vous écrivez, mais je donnerai ma vie pour que vous puissiez écrire encore. Means, Mr. Abbott means the religious guru of monks is called Abbott. Mr. Abbott, I detest, means I hate what you are writing, but I would give my life to make it possible for you to write. So that is the basis for a democratic debate. Meaning, I may disapprove what you say, but I will defend till my death your right to say it. So this gives a tolerant attitude, a direction for democratic debates. The CPDRS aims at developing this atmosphere in the society, uniting all people of all communities. So we have to also understand the concept. Why do we put secularism? Because it is not properly understood. In India, due to the inherent weakness, what I explained in our freedom struggle, secularism was misinterpreted as equal patronage of all religions. And from the day 1947 August 15th, India was practicing multi-theocracy. In the state, the officials, the people's representatives, the government officials indulge in religious practices. It is called theocratic state. It is not a secular state. Secular state does not believe in supernatural entity, and they will not bring religious practices in running of the worldly affairs, the ruling, the administration, etc. But because of the inherent weakness in freedom, because people like Netaji's leadership could not come, compromising leadership by Gandhiji was projected by the Indian business and the imperialists also. It is not me telling. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, in an interview with Attlee, the Prime Minister of England, in an interview in 2 minutes, you will find it in the YouTube. In his voice, he is telling. People think India got freedom because of Gandhiji. No. Gandhiji, Britishers were not afraid of Gandhiji. This is the point people. Actually, also agreed. They were afraid of this uncompromising trend coming to the fore. That's why the INA leaders, 3 leaders after Second World War, in INA International Army, founded by Netaji, they wanted to militarily defeat British Army, starting from Burma. He is coming. Then Second World War ended. Then Netaji died, and INA leaders were all arrested. 3 people: Shah Nawaz, Sehgal, Dhillon. One from the Hindu community, another Sikh, another Muslim. These are the leaders, military officials of INA, arrested by the British government in 1945. And a Red Fort trial is going on to hang them to death. Then people revolted. Throughout India, there was a mutiny in the Navy at Visakhapatnam. Name of the Navy is the Royal Navy. But the soldiers are Indians only. They told, why you are hanging our INA military officials? They are fighting for our freedom. So we will not cooperate with this Navy. So there is a revolt in Navy, it is called mutiny. Then Royal Air Force, there is strike. Bombay textile mills, for 1 week there is strike. Entire India was paralyzed. In the British Parliament, they are discussing what to do, how to control India. Our subjects, our colonial slaves, they should be, but they are revolting. Then advice came, no, let us send more army. But the opposition MPs told, no, we cannot send more army because in the Second World War we were already exhausted. None of our army people are ready to go there and fight. Then advice came, why not you recruit more from Indians only into our armies? No, that is impossible. They will kill us if we have recruit them into our माहौल अच्छा नहीं है बोले तो the situation is not good वो तो कुछ करना है क्या करना है छोड़ दो leave India to them not because of Gandhi's asking Gandhi is our friend a non-cooperation to whom Gandhi is non-cooperation to the revolutionaries these are not opposing friends not to the Britishers this history this is not written in the textbooks, but we should use our own critical thinking. This is what is required for democracy, secularism, human rights, a critical thinking. So, this is the history of Baba Saheb Ambedkar told the same thing to Atle. They will not take us a parents, we will take us a lion. So, whatever it is, but the leadership in the movement was projected by the papers, newspapers, media, everybody. Was there compromise? So secularism was implemented like that. Nehru was scientific, he wanted secular, but he was influenced. So if you indulge in our religion, then it becomes multi-theocratic state. So India never started its journey after August 15 as a secular state. It started its journey as a multi-theocratic state. Naturally, it is giving the foundation for converting it into a full-fledged theocratic state like Pakistan or any Muslim country. This is the history. So we have to talk about secularism when you talk about protection of democratic rights. Explain what is secular and see that that type of practice remains in the society and that type of instruments are made and make the legitimate demands as legal provisions to be made. This is the task we have. What is happening presently? Vote bank politics are going in India. Vote bank, just get some votes and seats, instigate one community. I am not telling only whether majority, minority, big, small, whatever it is. With a narrow mind is coming. Then where is that international result? That we are an international community. It's not like that. The opportunism everywhere. So this is also the ignorance that is there in the people which we have to fight. Sarath Chandra Chatterjee, you know, the great literature. He was also a political activist. He was a Howrah district committee Congress president. He was supporting the uncompromising trend. He was fighting against Gandhi's compromises also. Cultural movement he wanted. He, while addressing youth in Bengal in 1930, in a speech that is called Karuner Vidroh, meaning revolt of the youth, that's the title of the speech. In his own words, what he wrote, I am reading. We should not forget the great men of our past. Those who do not remember the great men of the past will not have a basis to have a solid footing. We need a solid footing, foundation. For that, we have to take a course or resort to know what the great men told. Take it and don't get stuck up there. Development further. It is you, the young people, who can pick it up and take it higher. That's what at the beginning I said. The present contains the past. At the same time, it has ingredients indicating the future. But now what Sarath Chandra told in his own words, he says, now there are no kings, but there remains the power of the state. And it is concentrated in the hands of a few big businessmen. Either they exercise the power themselves, the big businessmen, or they use executives on their behalf. Politics is now mainly a business or a trade. Exploitation is the main object of movement in 1930. It is all about that nowadays. So friends, the CPDS is trying to strike in the people ideas based on higher morals, ethics and social commitment. It is now trying to grow as a national level organization. I already told you, when the convention that was planned will be held, but it is only not the end, it is beginning, a humble, small beginning, a baby is being born to develop a democratic, secular democratic consciousness in entire country. So, as I am representing CPDS, I have to give that message to you. Don't go by the name, don't go by who is there in the big program, the man, professor. No, use your own thinking. If you differ with me, you fight. Among yourself also the debates. Nowhere there should be personal hatred. It is what he told. I may disapprove what you are saying, but I will defend your right to say it till my death. So this is a free atmosphere, like leather. Ideas clash, then only new ideas can flourish. Otherwise, the situation, what they have created, are already takers before we told. They don't like to eat this, they don't like to wear this dress. Intolerance everywhere. Somebody should tell you, you eat this, you do this, and then okay, what is the difference between a slave and a modern citizen in India? This is the 70th, 60th anniversary of the International Human Rights Day. Still it feels like this. Tomorrow, after 2-3 generations, my great-grandchildren, if they ask me, Sridhar Tata, I am his grandfather, why is the situation so bad? What were you doing that time? Did you not raise your voice? Like the hangman had been shamed of it is not. We are that way connected to the society, the future. And you, the young people, you should make the civil society aware. The situation will not change unless and until the civil society awakens, being guided by people who are equipped with their knowledge, with the usefulness, meaning you who are gathered. Responsibility is on us. Now, in a parliamentary democracy, parties or party coalitions come to power, go from power. It happens. But what we are aiming to sustain the movement for secular democracy, say under the banner of CPDS, it stays. Its aim remains. What is important? They may come and go. We have to represent the people's interest. So on this day, on the day of International Human Rights, if we move in that direction, then we will in a befitting way, it is being observed. Okay. Now, before closing, I remember Abraham Lincoln saying, he said in 1863, government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish. That is his wish, shall not perish. But unfortunately, what we are seeing is, it is no more like that. In every country, throughout the world, it is the government of the corporates, by the corporates, for the corporates. That is why Occupy Wall Street movement, such a big movement came, starting in the USA, spread throughout the world. You are 1%, you are 99%. So the 1% is not only controlling the economy, it is controlling the very life of all. Security, your life, your freedom, everything depends on them. So, this message that what Abraham Lincoln wanted, that should not perish, we should not ever perish. So, I feel, let this be our slogan on this day, on this Human Rights Day, that the civil society and the legal professionals raise to the occasion to bring about a change in the situation and let the genuine democratic rights and true secular values flourish in the world. Let this be our slogan on this day. I conclude here, thanking the organizers for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and insightful address. Your extensive knowledge and passion for democracy, secularism, and social justice have deeply resonated with all of us. At this moment, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our today's chief guest and keynote speaker, Professor Kunche Sridhar Garu, for his valuable insights he has shared with us today. To honor him, I would like to invite our principal, Dr.